Sadara grihadishu nityam ja samajittatvam ishtanistopaptisu. So, non-attachment, non-identification of the self with the son, wife, home and the rest, and constant even-mindedness on the attainment of the desirable and the undesirable. So this is, he is giving all these divine qualities, qualities of a sincere spiritual aspirant. We have to see all these. When a man thinks this object is mine, the idea of mineness enters his mind. He develops abhiman, false identification. This is what he was telling. Asaktihi anabhisvanga. Anabhisvanga, non-identification. So, when mineness is there, then naturally I have to come. I has to come. And that is called false identification. And then he begins to love the objects. He clings to them and gets attached to them. Asakti is non-attachment to objects. There is absence of liking for the objects. Asakti. Asakti is attachment. Asakti, non-attachment. Anasakti, asakti, non-attachment. Anabhisvanga, there is intense attachment to wife. Wife means husband also. Both way we have to take. Son or mother, etc. There is a complete identification of the self with another. When you say my, you behave just as I. Instead of my, you behave I. Just as my body, but when we behave as I body. Belongings, you identify yourself as belongings. So that is false identification. You are not that, but you pretend I am that. It is just like the hens, cock and hen. Hens, what do? They lay eggs, and when the eggs have to be hatched. No, hens. To hatch the eggs, to hatch the eggs, they have to cover it fully and sit there without food even for days to bring it to proper temperature, then only it has to hatch. They make it I, one with the body. So That is how we behave. You are no more than hands protecting our objects. So this is how, this is called false identification. There is nothing higher than me, the man of wisdom. No, here he says, when a man thinks this object is mine, the idea of mineness enters in his mind, and he develops abhiman, false identification. Then he begins to love the objects, he clings to them and gets attached to them. This is how asakti is developed, attachment, and asakti is just opposite of it. It is called non-attachment to objects. There is absence of liking for the objects. When you are indifferent towards the sense objects, then only you can develop unattachment. And attachment is nothing but bondage. You become one with the object. And anabhiswanga, there is intense attachment to wife, son, or mother, etc. There is complete identification of the self with another. He feels happy or miserable when that person is happy or miserable. Govindan feels miserable when his wife is dead, because he was very much attached to her, but he does not feel anything when his neighbor's wife is dead. We are so much concerned if something happens, some calamity, some natural disaster happens in our locality, but we don't care when it happens in some distant place. We are not concerned. We are not involved. That's how I and my, they play the role. A man of wisdom has no attachment to him, to his home. He considers his home as a public inn, the side of a public road, dharamsala. Anybody can come and enter, and anybody can go at his own will. In the hotels they keep the records, in ashrams they keep the records of visitors, but in the inn there is no such habits. Anybody can enter, anybody can go out for a night, for few hours. And they say this world is nothing but an inn, dharamsala hai. This world is compared as, it is seen as an inn and a marketplace, heart, periodical market. Heart. Great philosophers have written poems on this marketplace. And when a person goes to the market, he exerts all his money and comes back home without anything. That is his condition. In that way, world is taken as marketplace, some business center. This world is taken as a village. So many people live there, as a city, as a battlefield, as a school. From many angles it is seen by different seers, great philosophers, and they have named it in some way. So it is an inn by the side of the road. Anybody can enter in. That's why it is called inn. So, anabhisvanga, non-attachment in this way. And attachment we develop because of involvement, entanglement with it. We develop attachment also, and we develop desires and a responsibility of protecting it and spending whole life for it. House, our kith and kins, relations with whom we have been related by daily transactions, giving something, taking something. This world is an inn. One should not be attached to all this. Many come in our life. The father and mothers, they come in our life. Brothers and sisters, they also come in our life. And they go also. Wife comes, children come, they also. We leave them and go. So there is no guarantee who will remain how long with you. Our life is just as a dry leaf in the flood water in the current of the river. Nothing can be told. Any moment, any side it can go. Somewhere it can stop for a moment. Again another wave comes, gives a push. It goes again in the current. And so many other dry sticks, woods, leaves, sometimes some ants, sometimes something, they come and mingle with them, and again they part. This is how the evolution process, our life's journey goes on. So many come and so many part from us. Yes.
From a relative point of view, if we understand this world also is as an equivalent value to Bhumika or the Loka, because
Bhumika Loka is still lingering in your mind since morning. This is Ihalok, the earthly plane, gross plane. Same thing, Loka, Ihaloka, Paraloka. Loka, they say, a kind of existence. It is gross existence. Paralok is subtle existence. We have friend circles in the school. We have friend circles in our village. We have friend circles also when we go out of the country in foreign lands. But they are different. We are so much attached to our village friends. Since childhood we have been playing with them. We have been one with them. They cannot be forgotten from our mind. Whereas we go abroad somewhere and we have some friend circle there also. That circle of friends, they cannot put so deep impressions in our mind as our childhood friends. Nobody can forget childhood plays, mischiefs, and all those games with children, friend circle. Nobody can forget till the end of life. They create such a strong impression in our mind. So, different types of influence of our friend circle. Somewhere the attachment is so strong, bondage is so strong, and somewhere bondage is just little thread, and somewhere just a handshake and forgot. So, of course, we have friend circles in different level of our attachment. Similarly, all these lokantars, all these level of existence. Nityam cha samachittatvam ishta anishta upapattisu ityadi and the rest others who are very dear relatives or other etc. dependents etc. adi etc. the rest. So all other relations with whom we have transactions for a little time, they are also cause of our attachment. Constant even-mindedness, samachittatvam, nityam cha samachittatvam, nityam constant, samachittatvam even-mindedness. Or equanimity is an index of knowledge. Index of knowledge, beautiful word. Just as index of the book, from there we can know what is there in the book. Similarly, the equanimity, sama chittatvam. Chitta is the subconscious mind, and when it is not restless, it is steady. That means all the impressions are there, they are unable to act. Impressions are there, they do not move, steadied, fixed. Just as index, they give some ideas, but no explanation, no more explanatory state of some particular points. Points are there in the index. So it works like chitta, and which is not able to act. So that is called samachittatvam, constant even-mindedness, or we can say equanimity. It is an index. You see, face is the index of your mind. There is a saying, face is the index of your mind. That means all the mental movements are reflected in the face, and especially the eyes. Eyes and all the areas of the face. Your beauty is in the nose. Your identification is in the nose. That's why when you when you want to hide yourself, you have to cover up your nose.
And they say index finger also.
Finger also. That is index finger.
इसीलिए बोलते नाक काट दिया.
नाक काट दिया तो गया सारा सौंदर्य. Now, this equanimity is just as the index of your characteristics, your whole identity, and that is knowledge. The man of wisdom is neither elated when he gets the desirable or pleasant objects, nor grieves when he attains the undesirable or painful objects. So mind is in a balanced state, that is called equanimity, samatvam. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. We forgot what was the question of somebody in our Yoga Varsity class in the end today.
Fourth stage and the fifth stage. How a fourth stage person is silent and the fifth stage he goes in half.
No. Some other question in the end of the class when we closed the class, then there was some question from Suhasini or some. Deepa.
Who is telling this and for whom?
No, some other question was there. That is related here also. Anyway, so samatvam yoga uchyate, and yes, forgot. This is I said it is related here. The subconscious mind is ringing there. It is related here. Our Sripaji asked, how can I know where do I stand? How can I know what is my position in these seven stages of knowledge? How can you know? Of course, there was no time, so I just gave the answer in short. You know, it is automatic, because when you eat, how do you know? Who tells you it is enough? You yourself know. You yourself decide, enough I have eaten. And if you are greedy in eating, you are slave of your tongue, then of course the inner mind says, no, don't eat much, but you will go on eating some palatable food. That is avoiding the inner voice. Of course you have to suffer then. But now here you see, he says samatvam, samatvam yoga uchyate. How do you know this is, you have advanced in yoga? When your mind is not perturbed by the agitating or disturbing situations where you are in. Your mind is not disturbed. Your mind is in a balanced state. That is called samatvam. Then you know, you have to know that is the indication. You know that is the index. You know that you are advancing. When you are going in a long path, how do you know how much you have covered the path? How much is rest ahead? How do you know? Milestones. What are the milestones in our journey, in our life? Which are the milestones? Here we have to discuss it thoroughly. How do you know samatvam? And what does samatva indicates? Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity, when your mind is not disturbed by disturbing elements around you, know that you are advancing in spiritual field. Similarly, other milestones are also there. हाँ जी, हाँ धोबी के दोस्त, आज are you there? धोबी के दोस्त?
No, Swamiji.
अच्छा, tomorrow again we shall discuss it. Don't forget, Suhasini, tomorrow you have to remind me in Yoga Vasishtha class.
Sure, sir.
Yes. What are the indications? Where do you stand? How do you know where do you stand? There are some indications. Of course, you know yourself, but by which indication? So, when you get satisfaction, you know that enough, I have eaten, no more should I eat. That satisfaction is called contentment. That contentment is a milestone. And that is, there is degree in contentment. Sometimes you are little satisfied, sometimes you are fully satisfied. There is a formula in serving food in the Pangat. You know? Ha ha deyam, na na deyam, na deyam vyaghrajampane. If somebody says you are serving something, good items, say beautiful payasam, some people, no. Then you have to give. हाँ बहुत हो गया. Then also you have to give forcibly. Know that he wants, but out of hesitation he is not asking you. हाँ deyam, na deyam. If you say, no, बहुत हो गया, then also you have to pour. When he jumps like a tiger, no more, then you should not force. That is the highest degree of satisfaction. These are the degrees of satisfaction, different degrees. You have to understand. There are some rules and regulations how to serve food, and there are different degrees of satisfaction. Similarly, we have different degrees of satisfaction, equanimity, contentment, and desirelessness, worrylessness. all these are the symptoms of your advancement in the journey of spiritual life. These are all the different milestones.
Swamiji, equanimity of mind is a milestone.
But that has also got milestones, so many. So there is difference in that also. Different degrees, you know it. Yes?
And can it also be a spiritual goal? For instance, in the second chapter.
No, it is not a goal, but it is the travel experiences.
Swamiji, in second chapter somewhere Krishna says, Yam hina vyathanmete purusham purushaya shava sama dukha sukha dhira somritatvaye kalpate. The person
Sama means that is highest degree of samam. That is the symptom of a sthita prajna in second chapter. So there, I am telling you clearly, there is degree in satisfaction, samatvam. That equanimity has also different degrees. See, temperature. Temperature is a long process where when you measure it and say by some degrees or some digits, now it will be 4-5 degrees, not above it. Hardly 4-5 degrees. And morning it may go to 1 degree, 2 degrees, or maybe even 0. In 0 degree there will be snowfall. Not always that also. That also not always, because favorable conditions, little air, flow of air and rain, slow and steady rains, then it will be snow, or else there will not be sun. So in this way, degree is different. The same degree minus 10 degree, it is cold, plus 10 degree, it is hot. So satisfaction, all this contentment, equanimity, less of desires. How much desires you have? Some people have so many desires. They will be restless, running like a mad dog. They cannot sit in one place. So many works, they go run here and there. So that is degree of restlessness. And that degree also, restlessness, everything has two sides. One is positive, one is negative. When you are positive in satisfaction, that will be different. When you are satisfied in negative desires, that is different. Negative qualities, that is different. So all these minute points one has to understand clearly, and then all these are grossly you can understand this equanimity, samatvam, contentment, satisfaction, and less of desires, less of restlessness of the mind. All these are milestones. When you know, less desires means you are advancing in your spiritual path, and less contacts, less attachment. If it is more, then you are more worldly. If it is less, then more spiritual. So in this way we have to see both the sides comparatively, and then we understand where do we stand. Of course, these are known to us by ourselves. Sometimes we see some very good dreams. Say in the dream you are having satsang and great saints are assembled there, and very good topic is going on, and everybody is clapping, and kirtan is going on. All these you are dreaming. When you get up, you get some type of satisfaction, you know it, but it is not so much satisfaction which is needed. So, of course, it is advancement in the spiritual path, such dreams. So, say Gurudev came and he is giving some advices. My dear boy, don't do like this. This is to be done. In this way, if you see your Guru and some good things in this way, in the dream, that is very good symptom that you are advancing in the spiritual field, but it is not fully, it cannot fully satisfy you. So yet you have to go ahead with your struggle. Say, many people say, oh, I saw my Ishtadevata in the dream. That is very good, but it is not end of the journey. You are not 100% satisfied with it. So all these are different degrees of attainment in spiritual field. One should understand it. So here also this samatvam and this santi, peacefulness and steadiness, not being influenced by or agitated by jasmat nodvijate lokaha lokad nodvijate chajaha. When one is not agitated by others, and others, the people around you are not agitated by you, that is a great achievement. And that is not the end. Don't think. Of course, highest degree of attainment. In this way, all these are the milestones, and people, they are overwhelmed with seeing these milestones, and they try to take the milestone with them, and they go on dancing. I have come that much, this much, see. They go on telling, oh, I have achieved this, I have been a great Siddha, I can walk over the water. Whatever I say, it comes true. I can curse one, I can bless one. All these are only milestones. You should not carry all these milestones with you in your journey. Leave them there. Go ahead. The spiritual aspirants should be very, very careful not to give importance to all these powers, all these things, until and unless you have achieved that absolute steadiness. By no means your mind gets disturbed. That one-pointedness is everything, and there if you have pride in you, or you want to propagate it, then you are gone. You have earned so much money, and you are going to, instead of earning more, you are enjoying it in 5-star hotels. How long it will continue? How long it will last? So this way, one should not be satisfied in spiritual achievements, and he should be always satisfied in worldly attainments. Enough, enough.
Swamiji, Janak used to say that even if whole Mithila burns, it's not going to affect me.
Oh, he says, Midhilayam pramathini, name kinchid labhalabha, no gain, no loss to me, because he was engaged fully in hearing and contemplating and meditating on the absolute truth in the class of Yajnavalkya. And there was forest fire. It was only a magic show by Yajnavalkya to teach lessons to the students whose mind is restless and whose mind is steady, to show that there was a forest fire all over the forest, and these other students, they were running to save their loincloths and little kamandal and vikshajoli. But when it attacked the city and the king's palace also, Janak was never disturbed. So when Yajnavalkya said, Janak, is it not your duty to save Mithila? Then Janak said, Mithilayam pramathini name kinchid labha labha. Let the world go to hell. The present duty is to think of absolute truth. That is what I am doing in the class. When the class is over, then I shall see what is to be done. Yes, of course. In this way, then you see, we have to understand where do we stand and what is your achievement and what does it indicate. And he says, Samachittatvam ishtam anistam upapattisu, non-attachment, absence of affection and equanimity are all conducive to the attainment of knowledge of the self. They are designated as knowledge because they are the means of attaining knowledge. They are the means. That is what I was just telling you now. They are the milestones. Of course, they have importance. So in this way, all these divine qualities, they are the achievements. They are the qualities which an aspirant of spirituality should always cultivate it. This way, all these are considered as the state of your mind. मयि चानन्य योगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्त देश सेवित्वम अरतिर जन संसदि. This we shall see tomorrow. Aratir jana sansadi. These qualities are also most important qualities. Mai cha ananya yogena. This ananya yoga always Lord Krishna emphasizes upon. Bhakti abhyabhicharini. Steady devotion. Unshaken faith. Vivikta desha sevitvam. Liking for solitude. Aratir jana sansadi. Not choice in gathering people and going on. You see, propagating your knowledge. It is said a sannyasi should not give his wisdom to the others unless and until a person is much keen and breaking his head so sincerely, feeling like a fish out of water, restless to know, and then he asks you, then only a sannyasi should give his advice out of his experience, supported by the scriptures. Then only. Or else online business is not the work of a sannyasi. Propagating, it is not so. The knowledge is so great wealth for us. That is the only wealth, the greatest wealth. So wealth should be well protected. It should be hidden somewhere. Of course, at the time of need, it should be shared with others, but not always. We shall discuss it tomorrow. Thank you. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai.